Lakes of Sligo, and here we are in Sligo on a very stormy night. And I hope you all are bundled up well and warm, and you're having a good Christmas. So glad to be here, and we are here streaming on McGlynn's. Hang on a second, let me turn this volume down. Hang on a second. Volume down, okay, much better. Right, we are streaming on McGlynn's Bar's Facebook page. It's a great pub in Sligo, and hoping to get in there once things loosen up here. And we are here sponsored by the White Hag Brewery, and it is in aid of the Neurology Support Center, and specifically for a young lad named Rion, who is 4 years old, and he's got some serious neurological problems and in requiring 24-hour care. So anything that if you're in the mood, it'll be going to a good cause. So going up to Rion. So we're going to start off. Let me see. Get some accoutrements here. Start off with an old song I first heard Doc Watson playing many years ago, called The Dying Hobo. And I was looking it up, and it seems that it's kind of a parody of a poem that was published as a penny broadside in 1876. So it's an old song. There's lots of versions of it being recorded since the early days of recording. So it could be that it was composed sometime after 1876. It's called The Dying Hobo, a very sad song. Just a mile and a half from the water tank on a cold November day, in an old deserted boxcar where a dying hobo lay. His old pal stood beside him with a low and drooping head, listening to the last words this dying hobo said. Goodbye, old partner hobo, I hate to say goodbye, but I hear that train coming and I know she's getting nigh. I'll tell that old conductor just where I want to stop, where the little stream of whiskey is going down the rock. We rode across together, we rambled all around, in every kind of weather, we slept out on the ground. Partner, don't you miss that train that always makes us stop, where the little stream of whiskey goes flowing down the rock. I'm going to a better land where everything is bright, where the hen does grow on bushes you can see out every night. Where you do not have to work at all, or even change your socks, and the little stream of whiskey goes flowing down the rocks. And I hear that whistle blow, I'll catch her on the fly. A drink of beer I'd like to have once more before I die. And as we did, his head fell back, he'd sung his last refrain. His partner took his coat and hat and caught that eastbound train. The Dying Hobo. And the next one is it's an American reel called Old Mother Flanagan, and This is a tune that is very like, it's ever so much like the Irish song Molly Brannigan that John McCormick and others sang. And it's also, I think it's related to the green fields of America, which is played a lot here. And lots of versions of that in the States as well. But this one's called Old Mother Flanagan. Voice needs to go higher. Let me see. I think I'm cranked. I wonder, am I on the microphones that I'm supposed to be? Tell me this, if I tap on this microphone, tell me, do you hear? Right. Text me, did you hear that tap? Tapping. Fabulous. Am I on now? Is that much better? Muy bueno? Okay, sorry about that, folks. It's like you keep on trying. It's like the old carpenter said, I've cut this table leg 3 times and it's still too short. So, right, we could start everything over again, but I think we'll just proceed. All right. Okay, this next tune is Judy Prescott. The oil fields in Texas say muy bueno. Are you in the oil fields? Lovely. We were when I was about a young teenager. We were living in L.A. and my dad had a cabinet shop up in L.A. and he got a letter from the oil company saying that they were going to be drilling for oil right across the street, and it was all very exciting, and we had visions of becoming oil millionaires. And I remember when they built the oil derrick and they drilled, and of course all the people around there had to sign over the mineral rights for a certain percentage. So it was all very exciting. It was like winning the lottery. And so they set up the oil, the derrick, and they drilled down, and they struck salt water. So all our hopes were dashed. But it was a very exciting time anyway. That was as close as we came to oil. But the hills where I grew up in Culver City, the Baldwin Hills, there were oil derricks, or not derricks, but the oil pumps swinging for years and years when I was a youngster. And they might be dry by now, but there was a lot of oil back in them days. In any case, getting back to the music, this next tune is a wedding march from the Shetlands, from the island of Unst. And a lovely tune. And I think, I was reading up on it, I think it might be one of the tunes that was played when the wedding party was walking from one place to another, from the church to the reception or something like that. But a lovely tune anyway. Unst Bridal March. Thank you very much. The Unst Bridal March. Well, next. Many years ago, when we were living in Virginia, we spent a week on the island of Ocracoke, which is off the outer banks of North Carolina. And beautiful island, and lots of old ways, basically fishermen living there. There was wild ponies and The only thing was that it was scorching hot, and we couldn't really venture forth for very long, except in the morning time or late in the evening. So there was a lot of time spent inside in the little chalet that we had rented, and so I spent a good bit of time just plucking away, and I came up with this tune and called it Ocracoke. Ocracoke. Thank you very much. Okay, this is another song that first heard from Doc Watson, and it's based on a true story about a man named Otto Wood, who was a bandit. Otto Wood the Bandit, it's called. And Let's see. Oops. Different harmonica. Otto Wood the Bandit. Step out, buddies, and listen to my song. Sing it to you right, but you might sing it wrong. It's a song about a man they call Otto Wood. I can't sing it all, but I wish I could. He stepped in the pawn shop a rainy day. Then he had a quarrel with the clerk, they say. Pulled out his pistols to Ocracoke a blow, and this is the way the story goes. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, you done dead and gone. Otto, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out that 44 gun? They spread the news as fast as they could. The sheriff heard the warrant on Otto Wood. The jury said murder second degree, and the judge sentenced to the penitentiary. They put him in the pen, but it done no good, 'cause it wouldn't hold a man they called Otto Wood. It wasn't very long till he slipped outside, put a gun on the guard and said, "Take me for a ride." Second time they caught him was way out west. In a hold-up game he got shot through the breast. They brought him back, and when he got well, they locked him down in the dungeon cell. He was a man that would not run, 'cause he always carried a 44 gun. He loved the women and hated the law, and he just wouldn't take nobody's jaw. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, you done dead and gone. Otto, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out that 44 gun? He rambled out west and he rambled all around till he met two sheriffs in a southern town. They said, "Otto, step to the way, 'cause we've been expecting you every day." He pulled out his pistol and then he said, "You make a crooked move and you both fall dead. You better crank up your car and take me out of town." But a few minutes later he was graveyard bound. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, you done dead and gone. Otto, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out that 44 gun? Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, you done dead and gone. Otto, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out that 44 gun? Otto Wood the Bandit. Thank you very much. Let's see. Next we'll play a tune that it's an Irish tune called Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. And there's quite a few tunes about Bonaparte crossing one thing or another, crossing the Alps. And even in the States, I think there's a tune called Bonaparte Crossing the Rocky Mountains. But I'm not sure they actually make it that far. What am I doing? Here we go. So, Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. Park, crossing the Rhine. We have a waltz now. And just to remind you folks that this is supported by White Hag Brewery, located right nearby in Ballymote, and it's in aid of the Neurology Support Center and Rion. And I heard they're calling for snow. It's been wild weather here, but that's all right because the days are getting longer. This is called the Green Valley Waltz. Shoe your pretty little feet, who will glove your hand, and who will kiss your red ruby lips when I'm in a far off land. Shoe my pretty little feet, Mama will glove my hand, and you can kiss my red ruby lips when you return again. That lonesome dove flying from pine to pine, she's mourning for her own true love, just like I mourn for mine. Green Valley Waltz. Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and Thanks for giving me a hand getting the sound system up and running. We'll get it yet. As my sainted mother used to say, live and learn, die and forget it. But we'll finish off now with a song that I used to sing my daughter when she was little. And it's, let me see, a song about a fox. Get this cranked up here. The fox ran out on a chilly night, prayed for the moon to give him light. He had many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. Many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh. He ran till he came to where the geese were pinned, stuck in his head with a great big grin. Said, one of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. One of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town, oh. So he grabbed the gray goose by the neck, threw the little duck over his back. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, oh. Old Mother Flipper Flopper jumped out of bed. Out of the window she stuck her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone and the fox is on the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. John, John, the gray goose is gone and the fox is on the town, oh. So John, he ran to the top of the hill, oh, blew his horn both loud and shrill. Fox, he said, I better flee with my kill, 'cause I'll soon be on my trail, oh, trail, oh, trail, oh. Fox, he said, I better flee with my kill, 'cause I'll soon be on my trail, oh. So he ran till he came to his cozy den, and there were the little ones, 8, 9, 10. They said, Daddy, better go back again, 'cause it must be a mighty fine town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. They said, Daddy, better go back again, 'cause it must be a mighty fine town, oh. So the fox and his wife, without any strife, cut up the goose with a carving knife. They never had such a supper in their life, and the little ones chewed on the bones, oh, the bones, oh, bones, oh. They never had such a supper in their life, and the little ones chewed on the bones, oh. Thank you all, and good night all.